so we can go ahead and move forward. I just want to say I'm Ron Jones. Once again, Tal told you that. And I want to welcome you to our Big View workshop. And I would like to thank Tal and the Big View community for this awesome opportunity. So today you're going to learn how to promote your business or your nonprofit organization with video testimonials using only a smartphone. And it's the same techniques that we use in television news, but in this case, we're going to show you these easy principles to get your satisfied customers to tell your amazing stories on video. And then we're going to take your fabulous customer video testimonial and show you how you can share it on social media through maybe an email campaign, your website, and it can all be done through Big View. That's what I love about this organization, about Big View. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I have been in the television news business for more than 25 years. Tal talked about that. More than 2 decades as a television news anchor and reporter. So I cover everything from the state capitol to politicians to police officers to your everyday next door neighbors. And during that time, I've had to learn how to shoot, write, and edit my own stories before I even go live on the air. And so I'm called a multi-skilled journalist. And what makes me so unique is that I shoot, I would say 90% of my video on a cell phone. 90% of the stories that I shoot for our news organization, I use my cell phone. And we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about my past. I got the video bug when I was a young police officer with the Oakland, California Police Department. This was many years ago. So I worked in the personnel and training division. And that's me right there, a young Ron Jones, a young police officer. And I was doing a commercial for the department. And while I was in that unit, I shot and I edited all of our training videos, or a lot of the training videos, on VHS tape. So for those of you who are millennials or maybe Gen Xers and you don't know what VHS tapes are, just Google it and then or ask your dad or your grandfather, your grandparents, your mom or whatever what that's all about. And also as part of my side hustle, I did a few weddings as well. So that's me in a nutshell. So let's fast forward 2 decades later. Now I'm teaching nonprofit organizations and small business owners like yourself on how to tell their stories using just a smartphone. So all the knowledge that I've gained over the past couple of decades, I'm now sharing it with folks like you because I love to teach and I love to consult. And these are just some of my former students. You can see there on the video some of my former students from a workshop, and I taught them how to shoot and capture those video testimonials using only a smartphone. And you're going to hear from them later on. I think is really important. So let's talk about what will you learn today? What are we going to talk about today? Well, first of all, we are going to talk about how to ask a good question to get a great testimonial. So, for me as a journalist, as an anchor, or as a reporter, in order for me to get a good sound bite, because we call them sound bites, in order for me to get a good sound bite, I've got to ask the right question. The next thing is, this is so crucial, so important. This separates the amateurs from the professionals with just a cell phone. You will also learn the basic cell phone video composition, audio, and lighting to get that great testimonial video. And lastly, but just as important, you're going to learn how to share your testimonial videos on social media, email, and your website using just your smartphone, and of course, with Big View. All right, this is something that's really important to me. You're also going to hear from basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. I'm sure you've seen this big fella before. He's also a celebrity. You're going to see how an interview that I did with Shaq using just my cell phone went from a disaster to something great. It was something positive. So you're going to hear from Shaq. As you can see, he's excited, right? You're going to hear from Shaq in just a few minutes during this workshop. So let's get right into it. Why are testimonial videos crucial for this generation? And this is the reason why. Because information tells, but video sells. All of us here are part of this workshop because we know that video sells. That's why some of us are part of the Big View community, because we understand that it's more than just information that we put out there, data, text, and maybe some graphics, but it's the video that is crucial that actually sells. Information tells, but video sales. A majority of this generation, they watch some form of video either on YouTube, TikTok, or maybe on a news organization's website. Why? Because video adds emotion. And you know this, video adds engagement. Video is much more compelling than just static um, graphics and data and information. And here's a good statistic here: 70% of marketers say that video converts better than any other medium out there, more than just text or just pictures. This is where you can see this generation gravitating towards this video. And consumers trust a good review, especially when their review is in video. And I know you do this, and I do this all the time. Before you even buy something on Amazon or before you use a company's services, you're going to do a little research on your own before making that purchasing decision. And that's where video testimonials come in. Infomercials, when they're trying to sell you all that kitchenware or the ab blaster, how to lose weight in 20 days or 20 minutes, man, they use the strategy of testimonial videos as well, because they want you to spend your dollars based upon what a stranger says and based upon what folks like you and I look like every day, that we actually endorse exactly what those infomercials are trying to sell. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. That is for sure. So, why testimonial videos? Why is that so important? 92% of consumers read online reviews and testimonials when making that purchase. 72% of them, they trust a business more when they see that testimony. So, the question tonight, or for this, wherever you are, what part of the world, and your potential customers or donors are asking this right now: why should I trust you? And it's a fair question. It's a legitimate question. You ask that question before you make a purchasing decision. Why should I trust you? Just like this guy is like, I don't know if you're really all that you say that you are. Well, the reason why you trust them is because third party endorsement from strangers or people outside your circle or your organization, they actually validate your brand and your promises to the marketplace. It's not coming from your mom and your dad or your cousins or your co-workers or maybe folks who are part of your organization, but these are people that you have served. These are people who have purchased your product. These are people who trust your brand, are saying, yeah, I'm going to give them a big thumbs up, and you should give them a big thumbs up too. That's why third party endorsement is so important, because 77% of people who have watched a brand's testimonial video say that it has played an important part in convincing them to buy their product or service. All right, so let's jump right into this: text versus video. Text versus video is so important. On the right-hand part of your screen, there is a newsletter there, right? And this is something I created. I just grabbed some still pictures from a video that you're about to see, you're about to hear, and I added some text to make a point. Now, it's not real. I just wanted to show you the contrast between still images and text and data compared to video testimonials. And we know this: is 70% of marketers claim that video produces more conversions, it's more engaging, more memorable, it drives more traffic, and it's just a lot more better than text. We already know that. I'm going to show you this video here. This is an example of a video that I shot of a nonprofit organization just using my cell phone. Just went out there with my cell phone, right? Is helping the homeless and families that are in need. I got a bunch of testimonial videos. I added a little music and all this other good stuff, dropped it onto Big View, did the captioning below, which you're going to see. And just tell me what you think about this video compared to just using text. Check this out.
It brings me a lot of joy just to see the people that To volunteer.
Before I came to college, my church used to do this, so I'm used to stuff like this. I like it. It makes me feel good.
You just can feel the warmth and the love they got for us when they come out here. You really can.
For these organizations to come out here and to help those who are in need, those who need clothing, those who need shelter, those who need food, is a huge blessing to me.
When y'all don't come, I'm missing y'all. I be looking for them lunches. You hear me? I be needing them. T-shirts, socks, hygienes. I need it.
It means a lot. It means that I have an opportunity to be blessed another day.
No, you're not. Oh, wow. Say, what to say? Thank you.
No problem, Tavius. No problem.
Oh, this means a lot to me. Just by them even considering even giving it to them when I asked for them and they gave it. Oh, this means a lot, and I thank them so much. Those are nice too. Wow.
I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, I get a joy inside of my heart for doing things like that. Just to see him light up about those shoes. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is why I keep coming out here week after week.
We were once the same people that are out here, you know, and God has blessed us to be a blessing for others, and we all need somebody, you know. You gotta have both hands, both hands.
These children live to see these people. They love them because they've been coming around so long. It's like they're a blessing to our community. They real good people.
All right, so now that is the power of testimonial videos compared to just text, data, and pictures. It creates memorable emotion about your brand. That's why it's so important to be able to use testimonial videos. Now, just think in these terms that you have a website, you may have a newsletter, you may have something that's static. If you grab third-party endorsements, folks who believe in you, who believe in your brand, who believe in your nonprofit, who believe in your small business, you capture those testimonial videos, those video testimonials, you put those on your website, you put those on through social media, you put those in your email campaign. And these are evergreen testimonials. In other words, you can use them maybe 2 or 3 years from now. This obviously, when I shot this video, is pre-pandemic. No one's wearing a mask, right? It's pre-pandemic, but it still is effective today. It still works today, right? So this all begins when I'm out there as a reporter, or if I'm out there getting testimonials, it all starts here by us getting a good question, asking a good question, which will produce a great answer or a great testimonial video. So this is how it works. You have to stay away from what I call closed-ended questions. Here's an example of some closed-ended questions. Do you think our organization is helping others? Do you think our business is helping others? If I'm trying to speak with a customer or a donor or whatever, that more than likely is going to solicit a yes or no answer. You want to avoid that altogether. Here's another bad one. Is our business meeting your family's needs? Well, they may say, yeah, no, maybe, I don't know. That's not going to pull from them where they reveal the layers of their life or reveal the layers of their commitment to you and your brand. You want more from them. So you're going to begin with an open-ended question. How has this organization or how has this business helped you? That is a good open-ended question because it forces the person that you're getting the testimonial video from to reveal their true feelings about your brand, your product, or your services. And here's another one. Why would you recommend this organization, this business to others? You're not going to get a yes or no from that either, right? Here's another one. What would you tell others about this organization? Or what would you tell others about my brand? Or what would you tell others about my real estate company? What would you tell them about the products that I sell? What would you tell them about my nonprofit, about my church, whatever it may be? you're going to get more than just a yes or no answer. Then once you get that, you can use that effectively. Now, here's a good example. I'm going to show you this next video. Here's a good example of an open-ended question. I interviewed the director of an animal shelter with my cell phone, and I asked her, this is really important for me to get this. I asked her, how important is it to use social media to reach your audience? And this is what she said. Check it out. How important is it to use social media to reach your audience?
I don't think we could do what we do without the social media tools that are available to us. A, they don't cost any money, and B, you can reach such a broad audience of people. Our Facebook page is a gold mine for us. Not only does it help us get animals home, it helps us raise money, it helps us educate, and we're international. Our following is pretty huge. I think we're about 92,000 followers with a weekly engagement, which is more important than followers, of about 500,000 to as high as 2.4 million a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we're hitting it out of the park on Front Street.
Now, that's the power of a good open-ended question. Once you understand how to ask the right question, you must be ready to use the proper cell phone shooting techniques. I'm compressing my 2 to 4 hour class into like 20, 25 minutes for our big view audience out there. But let's move to the next step. You got to make sure that you have the proper basic cell phone techniques to be able to get the professional results, because the difference between an amateur and a professional is not the equipment used, it's not just the cell phone, but it's how you use it. So let's talk about what I say the 3 foundations of putting together a great smartphone interview. First of all, you have to have the proper composition. That's important, right? You have to also make sure you have good audio. If you don't have good audio, you've got horrible video. Remember that. That is a pet peeve of mine. And the last thing we're going to talk about here briefly is lighting when you're utilizing the cell phone. So let's get into composition. Vertical or horizontal is fine now when shooting your testimonial video. A few years back, horizontal was encouraged to shoot video because it fit perfectly within a television set or social media sites. But now with TikTok, Instagram stories, etc., vertical is acceptable. And through Big View, you can actually convert your horizontal video into vertical videos utilizing captioning, which I absolutely love. Absolutely love that. The next thing, you want to make sure you keep the light on the individual's face, on your subject's face. You don't want to end up with what's called backlighting, where the light is behind the person, because they can look really shadowy. Here's a great example of backlighting. I told you you're going to hear from Shaquille O'Neal. Here we go. I was stuck in a tough situation. Shaq had just flown into California, and my videographer, my photographer was on one end of the airport. I was at the other end, and we're trying to catch him coming through one of the terminals. Well, guess what? He came at me, and my photographer was nowhere around. All I had was my cell phone, and this is what happened next. Sorry, I'm with Channel 13. Hey, Shaq. Sorry to bug you, man. I'm with CBS 13 in Sacramento. Welcome to Sacramento.
How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. So,
Where's your camera crew?
Oh, he's on the other side. So they're already calling this place Sacramento.
Sacramento.
What do you think about that?
Well,
So I'm gonna stop it right there. But Shaq was out on the tarmac, and while he was out there, he's got a dark complexion, right? But when he had the shadow or the light behind him, all you could see is just a silhouette of him. But it doesn't matter if you're a dark complexion, if you're white, you're black, you're Asian, East Indian. I mean, you name the race or the color or the whatever. It doesn't matter. If you have the light behind someone instead of in front of them on their face, they're going to turn into a shadowy object, especially when you're using your cell phone. So you've got to remember to always put the light on their face. Now, I finally was able to get Shaquille O'Neal out in front of the light, and he was excited. I was excited, and he was so excited that he even sang a song for me. Listen to this.
what a beautiful place, Sacramento, Sacramento. What a beautiful place.
What a glorious day, because I had the light on his face. So just remember, if you're outdoors or indoors, try to keep the light on your subject's face. All right, we're going to move real quickly through this. Here's another thing that you got to remember. And this is called the rule of thirds. When you're shooting, whether it's vertical or horizontal, you want to keep the person's eyes or eyebrows at least one third of the way down from the top of the screen. When you do that, that's going to separate you from an amateur. If the person's eyes way below, then you're going to have too much headroom, and it's not going to be framed properly, and it's not going to look balanced. It's going to scream amateur. The other thing you got to remember, and that is make sure you have clean audio. So the best way to have clean audio is to avoid crowds. Maybe you want to pull the person you're interviewing away from the crowds or a crowded area. Avoid traffic if you can, if there's a lot of heavy traffic. And the other thing is you got to get up close and personal with the individual, maybe 6 feet away if you don't have an external microphone to be able to capture good, clean audio. Remember, a pet peeve of mine in television news or shooting with a cell phone, if you don't have good audio, you've got horrible video. I don't care if it's 4K, 5K, 7K, and if they come out with 20K video, if you can't hear the person clearly, then it's garbage. The video is garbage. So remember that. Those are some of the standards. All right, now let's talk quickly about sharing testimonial videos. This is what I love about Big View. And I'm a client, but I am not a paid staff member. I don't work for Big View or anything like this, but this is what I've learned, that it really helps to create that interactive and engaging testimonial videos quickly without an expensive camera, because all you need is a cell phone, right? You can mix your presentation with Facebook, maybe Twitter with tweets, photographs, videos, and you can also add interactive titling overlays, add music, and just like you saw with that nonprofit video that I put together, you can add captioning to it as well. Because when folks are looking at your video on Facebook, they may turn the audio off, but they will read the captioning. So that is so important. Here's the cool thing about Big View and using it. You can utilize it on social media, obviously. You can actually embed it into your website. And what's also awesome is you can create this email campaign and send it out to folks and let them know, give them an update of what your brand is doing, what your nonprofit's doing, what your business is doing, what your real estate company's doing. I don't know, maybe you're a financial advisor, but you can give them advice on what's going on through Big View, and they can hear from some of your clients through video testimonials. All right, this is the last thing before I wrap things up and take some of your questions here, and that is I'm just going to share you briefly. This is briefly what I captured, a few quick testimonial videos from people who took my workshop in the past on the power of testimonial videos. Check this out.
It was incredibly helpful.
And I think your tips were fantastic. I loved all the extra video.
It was actually fantastic.
I thought the class was awesome.
We learned so many tips and tools to go ahead and advertise the types of programs that we're offering. So now I think I know what to do.
I mean, yeah, you got me kind of enthusiastic about like video editing.
It was great, really helpful.
All right, so there you have it, the power of video testimonials, one of the workshops. If you want to reach out to me, lastly, before we wrap things up, answer some more questions. If you want to schedule some time with me, just go to my website, storiesthatwetell.com. It's where I do a positive podcast, encouraging people not to give up on their dreams. And because I try to stay away from all that negative, toxic talk, all those things that are going to poison and pollute your potential. Scroll down towards the bottom of the website, and you're going to see the icon, Time with Ron. There's no cost to this. All it takes is just a 15-minute chat to talk about your organizational goals and maybe how our team can best help you in trying to capture those amazing video testimonials. So that's it. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can have an opportunity to talk. Tal?
Great. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask questions now. I see that we have a few, and I'm just now sending the information of Ron's website that he just showed you, and also Big View's information if you need it. And we'll start with the first question.
How can I do video testimonials for digital products? I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Black Greatness, but I would say if you want to put together a video testimonial for your digital products. That's easy. If there are some folks out there who have utilized your brand or they believe in you, then what I would do is I would grab that cell phone just like this and I would capture those testimonials. Then if you use an app like BigView, which is so easy, it's so simple. You use an app like BigView, you just upload it, then you can actually edit that. Like if you need to trim it down a little bit, it'll automatically capture the captioning. You add some music, you add some overlay, and baby, you are ready to share it with the world, whether it's social media, on your website, or probably through social media, since that's what you want to do with your digital products. But if folks have used it, okay, and let's back up a little bit. Let's say you're just starting with your digital products. You're like, Ron, I don't have any customers. I just want to get the word out. Then you record yourself. You record yourself talking about how great and wonderful your products are and how you're going to benefit other people. You record that, upload it to an app like BigView. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, because I know we don't have a lot of time. This is the cool thing about BigView, is that if you're not quite sure what to say, use the teleprompter feature. Use the teleprompter feature. You record yourself through the teleprompter feature, upload that bad boy, do the captioning with the captioning, right? Capture it with the captioning, add some music, add some overlays, boom, you're ready to go. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I think it did. Let's see if we have something else.
Using a link, code.
No, I think this is not relevant here. I just want to note, unless you can feel free to ask more questions. I just want to note what Ron said about the captions, about crop the video. In BigView, you can crop your video to square, vertical, and horizontal with the app according to your needs. If you need it for a story, like you mentioned, or just a post on Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you want it to be. And of course, the captioning, you can add subtitles to your video in automatically in any language, so feel free to use it. I sent the FAQs in the chat. And let's see if we have anything else. I think not.
Oh, Billy is saying, "Hey, do you know that your head is cutting off in your website banner?" Um, that and for that particular website, not to even go down that rabbit hole, but just to let you know, Billy, that when I created that through Bluehost, but that is the dimension that they gave us. But yeah, I get it. I totally agree, man. I'm all about composition and making sure that it looks good. But but yeah, if you scroll down and then you can see, so we can spend some time and maybe we can chat about some things. Someone says, I want Ron as mentor. No, seriously. Okay, well, then let's set up some time. Let's chat about that.
I recommend. We have a question about the cell phone microphone.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So I know we don't have a lot of time here, Tal. Okay, can I grab something real quick? It's right next to me. Let me show you this real quick.
Okay.
So this is real simple, real simple, real simple. So this is one of the.
Just a second.
Okay, so this is one of the cell phone, one of the external microphones that I use. There are so many of them out there, and I don't want to share. I'm not sharing, am I? I don't believe that I am sharing. But this is one of the microphones that I actually use, this one right here. And this microphone is made by Shure, and I think I paid $99 for it. But if you have an Apple or if you have an iPhone, then you can connect it directly to your cell phone. Or if you have an Android and you don't roll with an iPhone, then you can connect this to your Android as well. And the audio is excellent. So like even if you're in a crazy situation where there is a lot of traffic and there's a lot going on, this will actually this shotgun microphone will pinpoint exactly the person that you're interviewing to make sure that it's clean audio. Remember, bad audio, bad video. I don't care what dimension you're shooting it in.
Okay, great. We have a few more. Okay. We have another question from Billy.
Okay, let me see. Do you sometimes use an ethical bribe to get people to record a testimonial? Awesome question. So this is what I no, I everything's ethical. So what I do, and even as a reporter, the last thing I want them to do is give me a fake testimonial because if you get a fake testimonial, they're like, "Oh, they're great and wonderful. I buy all their products," and you pay the person to do it, you bribe them. Now your ethics have just dropped down to the tank because if somebody finds you out, even as a reporter, if somebody finds you out that that was fake, your credibility is shot. Is shot. Don't do that. So this is the cool thing about getting testimonials. You ask someone if they have something crummy to say about you, don't put it up. You find your cheerleaders. Look for cheerleaders, people who believe in your brand, your product, and your service, and you upload that to Big View and you get that going. Are you able to edit your video on Big View? Yes, you can edit that bad boy on Big View, right, Tal?
Yes, definitely. You can record it on Big View or not, whatever you prefer. And then you can edit it by adding the captions, crop it. You can add your logo, background music, business card, whatever you want. And then you can even share it directly to social media or create your own video landing page with that.
And that's really cool, Tal. I'm glad you brought that up because especially the card on the back end, like you upload your video, and I think it was Black Greatness that was talking about, hey, so what do I do about my digital products? You can talk about your digital products and upload that, crop it, do all the fancy things. On the back end, there's a card that you can put on the back end, an outro where you can have more information about you, your telephone number, your social media links, and your website as well. That's an awesome feature of Big View.
Yeah, and I agree. And also, what you said earlier with the overlaying with images and videos on scenes in your video. So if you have a product that you want to show that you're talking about, you can also put the image of the product, or not just only seeing the people. You can also add images and more interactive features. So
Tal, there's one more here. It says, and this is Anna. She says, "Can you edit captions? Sometimes there is grammatical errors or in other languages." Absolutely. So when I use Big View, I'll upload it, and then it gives you an opportunity before you make it live, before you're able to share it. You can go in a Big View and you can edit. Like if somebody said, "I love this place," but it shows up, "I live this place." You can go in there and you can edit, trim it, whatever you have to do to make sure that it's grammatically correct, and then you move on.
right. Because it's also speech to text, you don't have to really write a script. You don't have to. It's recommended because it will be more accurate, but you can always fix it and edit it on the app and also on the web. For me personally, it's easier to do it on the web, but you can do whatever you prefer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The web is much easier than
Yeah.
just trying to use your thumbs. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We had another question. I think you kind of answered it, but maybe you have an extra tip for that.
Do you have any fun approaches to persuade people to do testimonial videos for your company? All right, great question. Um, when I go out as a reporter, right? So let's say, for instance, I go to the local grocery store and I want somebody to give me a soundbite or whatever, then I look for when I walk up to them, this is the first thing I do, and this is what you can do too. And we could talk about this, especially in another course. But what I do is I do these three things. First of all, I walk up and I says, "Hello, my name is Ron Jones." And then I say, "I'm Ron Jones with this news organization. We are asking people about this." And then I go right into it. So they know, number one, who I am, who I represent, and the question that I'm asking. Is it going to be nerve-wracking? Sometimes if you're new at it, it could be. But the one thing that you want to be able to do is try to connect with them, try to find some common ground. If you're a young lady or a young mom and you see someone who's a young mom who's using your product or services, hey, I see that you're a young mom just like me. And so I'm asking young moms, what do you think about this? And I'm asking this about my service or about my product. What do you think about it? Then what you have to do, you got to pause and wait. Don't stop them from talking. Let them process it a little bit, and then they just start talking. But you may get turned down a few times. I get no's, I would say 10-15% of the time I get a no. I don't want to talk to you. I don't trust the media. I don't have nothing to do with you. So I just move on to the next one. But what this will do, it will improve your sales, your salesmanship. You'll understand that even though I got a no, there's a lot more yeses out there. So you just got to do it. You don't have to get it right. A guy told me one time, he's got a successful podcast. He's like, Ron, you don't have to get it right. You just got to get it going. So even with your testimonial videos that you're going to upload to Big View, you don't have to get it right. Just step out there and get it going, get it uploaded, and put it out there.
Amazing answer. Okay, so I think we're out of questions. And I want to thank all of you for coming, and of course you, Ron, for a fascinating workshop. I think you got a lot of positive replies. And thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.